Before America can be great again, she must be free again. You're listening to The Alex Jones Show.
The ultimate act of domination is to exterminate a culture, to exterminate an idea, to exterminate the genetics of a people. Why are they banning Cinco de Mayo celebrations if you're not Hispanic? Why are they saying it's cultural appropriation if you like Jimi Hendrix music and you're not black? Why are they banning at colleges everywhere Mexican-themed parties and saying they're racist? Because they're killing real multiculturalism. I go eat sushi. It's not appropriating Japanese cuisine. I like some sushi. Some of it I don't like. A lot of it I love. I don't appropriate Chinese food because I hate Chinese. It's delicious. I don't appropriate Mexican food because I hate Mexicans. It's delicious. Quite frankly, I probably eat more Mexican food than anything else. I cook Mexican food at my house. I eat more peppers than most Mexicans I know. Is that a hatred of Mexicans? No, that's called going local. Cowboy hats came from Spain, from the cowboys. The lariats, the ropes, that all was in Mexico, all the way down to Chile. Is the average person in Texas who sees Mexicans walking around with cowboy hats and they go, look at those Mexicans dressed like cowboys. I've actually heard that from ignorant people that weren't real cowboys. Why are those Mexicans dressed like cowboys? Because they invented it. That's what multiculturalism is. America is multiculturalism. And they're using our strength against us with their false multiculturalism. That's coming up with Owen Shroyer. But right now, I'm going to Ben next segment because he was talking about Netflix and Bill Nye, population control. Yeah, I saw articles about that 2 days ago. I didn't watch the video. I can't stand his condescension, his fake professor face, the little white lab coats. You know, he says arrest people that disagree with climate change. I'm going to go to you next segment because we're going to get that clip, Ben. But yeah, it's sick. Tell us what you saw coming up. But right now, let's talk to Mark in the great state of Pennsylvania, where El Presidente gave an amazing speech this Wednesday. Go ahead. Or last
Hi,
Saturday.
Alex.
Go ahead.
Pleasure to speak with you.
Thank you.
Pleasure to speak with you, sir. Trump and his White House, with the budget that they're going to put through today, or try to put through and have him sign, do you think he has them playing into his hand? I mean, literally with the money, he's given them $1 trillion for a few months' time. And I just wonder if he has the Democrats actually playing into his hand. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, he wants prosperity. He knows the global economy's stalling. It was set in every major financial periodical to really start going downhill this year. And so he's trying globally to get the European stock market up, which finally started going up, to get ours up. It's been meteoric, to get jobs going, to get multinational investment going both ways, two-way streets. And so he's done an amazing global economic turnaround in just 104 days in office that's unprecedented. But we're not out of the proverbial forest yet. We're not out of the tall trees yet. So we've got to really get behind Trump and his economic agenda that Ron Paul said a month ago on the show is, quote, amazing. Say what you want about Trump and some of his issues that I disagree with greatly. He's doing great things for our economy. And so, yes, I think giving the Democrats some of what they want on spending, freezing the IRS, getting border security money basically doubled, it's overall a big spending bill. But if the economy gets going again, we'll be able to pay off that debt. If we don't, it's going to stall out, and we're never going to pay these debts. So overall, I am giving Trump cautious support at this point. What do you think?
Well, I agree with you. And also earlier you had stated to stay on Trump with things that we disagree with. And I want all the info warriors out there, do not let the Susan Rice scandal and everything go down, because that's going to lead to Pedogate. That's going to break open tremendous doors.
You know, I agree with you. Trump needs to be on the offense more. They tried to say he was this Russian spy and he leaked, and then they're the ones that are on the payroll of foreign governments that leaked. Great points, Mark. Thank you for calling. I'm going to move quick today. I'm going to be a good boy and go to your calls quickly. Ben's up next, then Ken, Beth, Levi, and many others. I'm Alex Jones. The enemy hates us for a reason, because we know how to take them down. Infowars.com. All right, I'm going right back to your calls. Ben and Erica and Ken and Beth and Levi, we're going to go to all of you here in just a few minutes. First off, CNN calls Trump a liar, a racist. CNN gives the questions to Hillary Clinton in all three debates. and gets caught doing it. CNN got caught in the WikiLeaks, trying to rig the polls, sometimes giving her 30-plus points ahead of what she really had. So CNN, openly run by the Democratic Party and George Soros and other financial interests, banned over the weekend this ad from running that Donald Trump's presidential campaign paid for. CNN said they didn't run it because of fake news graphic. So they're allowed to call everybody fake. Trump fake, Alex Jones fake, InfoWars fake. Everything's fake. And then when the president talks about fake news, they're not going to carry an ad even though he pays for it. Why would Trump even want them to run his ad? They have almost no viewers. But here's the bottom line. This ad is about buoying national sovereignty. It's about believing in America. It's about confidence. We have the industry. We have the infrastructure. We have the know-how. We have the people. We can rebuild America. We can make it better, faster, stronger. Yes, that's a ripoff of the 1970s Bionic Man. We can rebuild her. Bigger, faster, stronger. America, barely alive. We can rebuild her. We're going to do it. But we have to be realistic. We have to be pragmatic, and we have to move against the enemy and realize we have the light in the dark of the night. Then I'm going to your phone calls, and Bill Nye, whose show is called Bill Nye Saves the World. I'm going to talk about that in a moment. Because here's the deal. I'm shooting a video and already shot part of it yesterday to debunk the new movie coming out with Al Gore, His Inconvenient Truth Part 2. And I was going to call it Al Gore Saves the World. That was the name of the special report. I didn't know Bill Nye had a failed show on Netflix. I didn't know Bill Nye had 3 stars out of 10. I didn't know that he even said that. But they've scripted it where they're saviors of the earth. You let them have full control of your life and they'll save you. But I told dude, the name's going to be Al Gore Saves the World. I had no idea that was the name of Bill Nye's. But I saw the ad when I went and saw The Promise, excellent movie, historical movie about the Armenian genocides Friday night. I went and saw it with my wife and son. And I'm sitting there watching it. It was an amazing film. And then I thought about the ad for inconvenient fraud, inconvenient eugenics extermination operation. I'm sorry. An inconvenient way to get you to try to kill yourself, basically, so Al Gore can have all the resources for his pig-like self. I'm sorry. I said I'd get to the breakdown of that when we go to the next caller, Ben in Florida. First, let's get to the banned ad that you're not supposed to see talking about the first 100 days of Donald John Trump. And here it is. The first 100 days of Donald John Trump.
Donald Trump, sworn in as president 100 days ago. America has rarely seen such success. A respected Supreme Court justice confirmed. Companies investing in American jobs again. America becoming more energy independent. Regulations that kill American jobs eliminated. The biggest tax cut plan in history. You wouldn't know it from watching the news. America is winning, and President Trump is making America great again.
I'm Donald Trump, and I approve this message.
Now, let's go through that ad one more time, and I'm going to stop and start it. It's only 30 seconds long. Totally true, totally accurate, and he shows mainstream news that's all attacked the president over and over again and who are rooting for the country to fail and are in major financial publications admitting that they're globally trying to kill our stock market so that the Trump revolution stops because they can't deal with the American system of prosperity and free market. Nobody can compete with it, so they want to kill it. So let's go through the ad one more time.
Donald Trump, sworn in as president 100 days ago.
Hit pause.
America.
Back it up. Sworn in 100 days ago. Back it up 5 seconds. Absolutely true. That's documented. Sworn in 100 days ago. Where are we now? $3+ trillion in the stock market. $300+ billion, and that's an old number. New jobs coming in. Absolute, better than we've seen in a decade. Numbers at restaurants. Retail's still doing bad, but that's because people are moving towards almost only shopping online. Delivery business is way up. So that's kind of like horses getting replaced with cars. That's why the retail's falling apart. Let's continue.
Donald Trump, sworn in as president 100 days ago. America has rarely seen such success. A respected Supreme...
Never seen such success. Shows him signing all these orders, turning our jobs back on, killing one-sided trade deals, getting us out of TPP, getting Neil Gorsuch in the Supreme Court. Let's continue.
Court justice confirmed. Companies investing in American jobs again. America...
Back it up 10 seconds. 500,000 plus jobs created. It's way, way more than that because you've got 300 billion already in new investment announced by SoftBank, and the list goes on, by Fiat, by Chrysler, by Ford, by Hasbro, by Mattel, by all these other Mitsubishi, Samsung. I mean, I can't even list them all. It's incredible. The power plants turned back on. Let's continue. Go.
Ago, America has rarely seen such success. A respected Supreme Court justice confirmed. Companies investing in American jobs again. America becoming more energy independent. Regulation.
Keystone Pipeline in. They don't even have time to mention the coal, worth trillions to us just in the next decade. Absolutely clean, cheaper energy, on and on and on, giving all those miners their jobs back. Let's continue.
That kill American jobs eliminated. The biggest
back it up 10 seconds. It's just so much truth. Has slashed just trillions in regulations that were only designed to ship our jobs overseas, written by the globalists for Agenda 21 to pick the winners and losers. Continue.
Justice confirmed. Companies investing in American jobs again. America becoming more energy independent. Regulations that kill American jobs eliminated. The biggest tax cut plan in history.
It is one of the biggest tax cuts in modern history. It's I guess because technically the numbers are bigger than ever because of inflation, but it's not as big as the Kennedy tax cut that was 50% for the main tax brackets, 30% for the rich. It's just not the biggest in history. But it is the biggest, I guess, number-wise, technically, but not in the real numbers adjusted for inflation. Let's continue.
Know it from watching the news. America is winning, and President Trump is making America great again.
I'm Donald Trump, and I approve this message.
But they didn't like the little bit of criticism of CBS, ABC, CNN saying fake news. No, you're not going to say that. They bring out the term. Hillary creates it. They brand Alex Jones with it, the dark heart. They swear to get into office and shut us down in 2017. They failed, and they're still there, though, at the State Department with the new office trying to shut us down. Now, Ben, let's shift gears. Ben in Florida wants to talk about the Netflix show, Bill Nye, and the show's called Bill Nye Saves the World. Now, that's what all this environmentalism is about, how Al Gore saves the world, Lord Rothschild saves the world, Bill Nye saves the world. So you're not allowed to question them. You're not allowed to say they're wrong. You're not allowed to say the sun drives climate. When they said it was going to be global freezing in the 70s and 80s, and it was global warming in the 90s and 2000s, and now the Earth's starting to cool off again because of the sun, different cycles. So now they want to arrest you. 15 state attorney generals led by Cuomo, that governor, want you arrested if you question. And Bill Nye has come out and said he wants to look at having people arrested because we're involved in fraud. We have to pay carbon taxes to Al Gore's carbon trading company. We've got to pay it to George Soros' carbon trading company. We've got to let them pick which jobs and businesses can operate, or we're killing the planet. So I'm going to go to this call. When I come back, I'm going to play a few clips from his failing show and where he said arrest people that don't agree with him. So he's an authoritarian, know-it-all, arrogant, pseudo-intellectual twit with a non-threatening bow tie. Yeah, people that drive creeper vans wear those, folks. He is a creeper. And I was going to have somebody in casting for the last season of True Detective, which is an excellent series. Takes a lot to make me watch TV, and it was excellent. Then I'd cast him as the bad guy, wouldn't you? Just a little opinion, side piece. Total creep. Let's go ahead and go to Ben in Florida. Ben, what do you think of Bill Nye? You say you've been watching the show.
Yes, sir. And, I want to say that Bill Nye, obviously, this is a guy with a God complex, okay? He calls himself the science guy, but in reality, he's the globalist guy. He's the Marxist guy. And on the 427 edition of his show, the Netflix show you had just referenced, he actually asked with a straight face, Alex, whether or not children in, quote, developed countries should be penalized for having, quote, too many children, okay? And, or I should say families, rather. Families in developed countries, should they be penalized for having too many children? And his guest, a doctor, responded by saying, it's something we should consider. These people believe they're gods. They want to control the world, and now they want to control how many children you have based on discredited, fake scientific facts and propaganda like climate change. It makes me sick to my stomach, and it should make every one of you listeners out there sick to your stomachs as well.
Well, let me tell you why I want to hire 4 or 5 more great investigative journalists and video editors, so that they're investigative journalists that also have the skill to go in and put a piece together, so we can monitor movies, TV shows, so-called news shows, and have commentary and critique and analysis to show the lies. I knew he'd call for arresting people he disagrees with. Here it is. Bill Nye, the science guy, is open to criminal charges and jail time for climate change dissenters. No, we believe climate change. In fact, it's always changing. You had global freezing than global warming. So that's what he wants to do. And I haven't seen the show, but I need to have the crew that can go into Netflix and watch the 427 show, I guess, that aired last week, where he calls for population control. I know he's called for that in his writings, but again, Bill Gates, people like Warren Buffett, people like Ted Turner, who has 5 kids, they're all going to have kids. The communist Chinese elite, they have 4 or 5 kids. It's just the general public that can only have 1 child. And this is total and complete elitism. And remember how long I warned people 20 years ago about the one-child policy coming here, and now you see it being promoted everywhere. They want taxes on people that have more than 1 child. I've been confronted many times for my 3 children, now 4 children, when I'm at Whole Foods. Why do you have so many kids? These are uptight, upset, angry people that don't have children and who've been taught to hate people that do. They're monitored and controlled and socially engineered by Facebook to keep them desperate, to keep them alone, and to keep them hateful. And so that's all they've got is hate for those of us that have a life force. And as I've said, Al Gore scripts himself as the savior of the world. I didn't know Bill Nye, and I guess the crew's seen it, has a show called Savior of the World. How sickening.
Absolutely, and you said it earlier. He cloaks himself with this non-threatening sort of, personality, which is totally fake, by the way.
I'm Bill Nye.
Exactly.
Let me just slit your throat. Oh no, yeah, Earth's mine. Candy, get in the creeper van. Sorry, go ahead.
Exactly. And then he sits there and he goes, what do you think about maybe we should control how many people children have in the developed world? You don't get to tell us how many kids we can have, you piece of trash.
Oh, let me have one-child policy. We'll drop by like China and kill your newborn baby in a bucket of water, or maybe melt it down and sell its fat for women for collagen injections. But see, it's okay if Apple has mobile execution centers, or Apple has or supports China's mobile execution centers, never criticizes that, and has suicide nets around the Foxconn factories and drugging and forced abortion, because it's liberal, because the Apple board has Al Gore on it, or at least did at the time, and then it's trendy because Al Gore talks in this real slow, kind of southern NPR voice, so why don't you just give in? Oh, and I love how Al Gore in the new trailer for his new fiction movie, An Inconvenient BS Part 2, says, humanity will survive. We will come together. The whole fake environmental movement's about anti-human eugenics and population reduction and ignoring genetic engineering, chimeras, toxic waste dumping, geoengineering, all the things that are killing our Earth. So it ignores all the real stuff and focuses on the garbage. Ben?
It's a fundamental hatred for human life. And what they do is they use this fake environmentalist movement as an excuse, as a pretext to push population control, to push this idea that, hey, we got to control how many children we have, as if we live in a communist nation.
But he's wearing a bow tie. It's okay. God bless you, Ben. Thanks for monitoring this. Sure enough, it's confirmed Christian news. Bill Nye, the science guy. Let me talk like him. Bill Guy, hi. I'm not threatening. I'm real tall with a bow tie. Don't matter, I look kind of creepy. I like to meet with David Rockefeller. Bill Nye, the science guy. Science is real, and it says you die. Carbon credits, calorie rationing. We decide where you live and what you do. It's liberal. We're the saviors. Bill Nye, the science guy, suggests parents should be penalized for having extra kids. and the West is bad in his Netflix show called Bill Nye Saves the World on April 21st. I guess you saw it on April 27th. Let's go ahead now and play Bill Nye talking about, well, maybe we should lock people up. I mean, that's liberal. Here it is.
We interviewed Robert F. Kennedy Jr., the environmentalist, here at the People's Climate March in 2014, in September. He said that the climate deniers, his word, and energy CEOs belong at The Hague with 3 square meals and a cot with all the other war criminals. What is your thought on that? Do you think some of the rhetoric on your side, as I'm sure both sides, but some of the rhetoric on your side gets too carried away? I mean, what's your thought on jailing skeptics as war criminals?
Well, we'll see what happens. Was it appropriate to jail the guys from Enron?
Interesting.
Okay, right. So we'll see what happens. Was it appropriate to jail people from the cigarette industry who insisted that this addictive product was not addictive and so on? And you think about, in these cases, for me as a taxpayer and voter, the introduction of this extreme doubt, will you go with extreme doubt?
Not allowed to have
climate
that.
change is affecting my quality of life as a public citizen. So I can see where people are very concerned about this and are pursuing criminal investigations as well as engaging in discussions like this.
Very, very arrogant. Meant to sound reasonable, pausing, talking real slowly. Let me do a Bill Nye act for you real quick. Bill Nye thinks you're a booby. Do you know where the idea for the carbon credit trading plan came from? The same place Bill Nye just used as an example of why they should be able to criminally indict people that don't believe in man-made global warming or anthropogenic warming. Okay? Let me just act real smart. Okay, I got a big bow tie, okay? You got to be really smart to wear one of these, all right? Now listen, I'm Bill Nye, okay? Did you know, Bill Nye, that Enron and Kinley that you just used as an example are the ones that came up in 1987 with the carbon tax plan that they met with Al Gore, then senator, about before he was vice president? Did you know the whole plan got launched by Kinley, who had fake trading desk and fake computer programs, and they would charge Californians up to $2 billion extra a day for electricity and would have fake rolling blackouts to create the view of artificial scarcity? Did you know that you could search that and find that in congressional hearings, Bill Nye? Of course, you probably know that, don't you? That's right, you're so smart. You're so cool, Bill Nye. And so, thank God you're here. Oh, and the cigarette companies like the liberals, and Edward Bernays getting liberal women to smoke cigarettes so millions and millions died. Millions others were maimed, making it trendy to smoke cigarettes, kind of the whole same PR campaign, which we're not involved in. Totally separate deals. Just scientists and citizens and astrophysicists and others saying the sun's the main driver of climate on Earth. The only other heat source is tectonic magma flows and limited amounts of volcanic gassing into the atmosphere and fissures in the crust in the Pacific and Atlantic Oceans that do add some heat to the planet, but it's less than 1/1 billionth, if you look up the statistics, of the actual heat of the Earth that's translated to the surface. It's the sun, Bill. The sun. Science is real, Bill. Bill, listen to me, Bill. Listen to me. You know it's a eugenics program to tax the carbon cycle. Sunlight, water, carbon dioxide, and air. Oxygen. Everyone knows oxygen, water, and sunlight are good. But carbon dioxide sounds like monoxide. And we can get most people, 90% even at UT, we've done this. So have Penn and Teller, so has Mark Dice, to sign, let me get back in character, to sign petitions to ban dihydrogen monoxide. And dihydrogen monoxide, Bill Nye, is the name for water, H2O. Did you know that, Bill Nye? Without sunlight and water and carbon dioxide and water, we're all dead, sweetheart. And I know you want to tax water, too. You want to tax everything. You want to be God. And you want to be able to monitor and track all use and have us on carbon credits and ration calories. So all the poor people who've been taught to be poor can be taught to hate wealth and think it's cool that everybody else is poor because misery loves company. But then the elites get off their jumbo jets with 10 planes backing him up and over 500 men in the detail in South Africa, in Durban. And Obama can say 2 years ago, If you have air conditioners or cars, I can't do a good Obama imitation. You know, if you got air conditioning in cars, the Earth's going to heat up and boil over. I'm sorry, you can't have it. Oh, that's Bill Nye destroyed. Bill Nye is the destroyer of humanity. Bill Nye is not the savior of the world. Bill, you signed on to the globalists that said the future doesn't need us. Their white papers are all public. That they all meet in Silicon Valley 20 years ago and decided to launch a world government program that was already in pace. Everybody drugged up, dumbed down, and slowly poisoned to the fact that we're pretty much unconscious when you finally kill us. And you plan to recycle our bodies as fertilizer for yourselves to grow your crops. Yeah, those are white papers. Bill, I know all about you and eco-science, boy. Bill Nye is an enemy of humanity if there ever was one. We'll be back.
You'll get what you want. Stephen Hawking said we have to leave planet Earth today, so.
Oh, but Al Gore says in his new movie, An Inconvenient Load of BS Part 2, we ain't getting on no rocket ship to Mars. We're not going to get on airplanes either. We're not going to have calculators. We're not going to have genetic engineering. We're not going to, oh no, because space is like, we're at the top of the mountain, and we have like 100 yards. We've already gone 18,000 feet. We've got 100 yards to life extension, 100 yards to giant space colonies with gravity, 100 yards to get past the globalist. That's a little problem. There's a 14-foot vampire standing right in the archway, trying to block our way to the next level. We got to roll up our sleeves and say it's clobbering time. Because we may think we're not big and strong, but that vampire, we look like Ben Grimm from the Fantastic Four to that vampire. And it's time to get him upside the head, isn't it, Owen?
Well, and Trump is talking about the best way for us to do it now, at least I think. I don't know what your thoughts on this, Alex, are, but 2018, electing the right people to your local government, to Congress, getting out some of these swamp creatures, Maxine Waters, Chuck Schumer.
Let's call it Operation Total Victory.
Yeah.
Because we need a complete freedom caucus.
I mean, Paul Ryan, okay, get him out. Vote him out. And here's my big problem.
Bye-bye, Blue Eyes.
Here's my problem, Alex. Where are the people right now challenging these people? There's only one person whose boots are on the ground, who's campaigning right now, who's going to destroy Maxine Waters for the first time in 35 years, this woman. This crazy dingbat who spends 3 hours a day on a frickin' wig, doesn't even live in her own district.
Could you believe that Pelosi didn't know that it was President Trump again?
No, I can perfectly believe that. These are mentally deranged people. They ought to be drug tested. And I don't even care. Do as many drugs as you want. Just let the American people know if you're on Prozac all day long. Let the people know whatever is making Nancy Pelosi I mean, she's demented, Alex. This isn't just rhetoric.
Your hate has made you powerful. Hey, tell us what you got coming up, because I want to go to these calls, then into North Korea, then into the stabbing, then into Antifa. We're going to have Millie Weaver in here at the bottom of the next hour, who was down in the middle of it. Rob Dew was as well. Total insanity with just their behavior. This guy, mentally ill guy, got kind of caught up in all the hysteria, went out and stabbed some people. The answer is obviously ban knives. So that's all coming up. Drudge linked to our story. Air Force preps second missile test off California as North Korea threatens to nuke us with subs, reportedly off our coast. The Pentagon says it's a real threat. We're going to be talking about that all here in a moment after we take calls. But tell us the big stories you've got coming up. Here they are.
Well,
right here.
you covered the CNN 100-day ad.
Yes.
That we played a second ago. I don't know.
None of that was false. The whole thing was true.
Did you know, though, that CNN banned that?
Yes.
From being played? I couldn't believe when I read that story. So we know about the mainstream media censoring. We know about Google trying to censor us, YouTube trying to censor us. We know that all this is going on. That's one part of the censorship equation. That's not the full equation. There's another equation here, and this story tells it all. Baylor students protest Mexican-themed frat fiesta, demand mandatory diversity training. You've been talking about this, Alex. The globalists believe that the people will eventually embrace their slavery, as in they'll like it, they'll want it. This is the mental slavery being embraced. The Baylor students, this isn't coming from the staff, which we see all the time. This isn't coming from the administration, which we see all the time. We've already seen that. We know about that. This is the students. This is self-censorship. This is making yourself a racist.
By the way, I had a Hawaiian-themed party.
How dare you?
At my house, because I love the food and love the tiki torches at night. And I'm actually going to have gas tiki torches put into my backyard because I like it.
Wait, Alex.
I like Hawaiian food. I love the Hawaiian culture.
I have a St. Louis lapel pin on. Does that mean I hate everyone else that isn't from St. Louis? Is that what it means? That's probably what it means, right? It's over. I hate everybody unless you're from St. Louis.
Well, I mean, Daria said it right. They're killing true multiculturalism. They don't want us having fun, celebrating each other's cultures. I mean, it's like you go to the Broken Spoke, one of the oldest dance halls here in Austin, where people like George Strait got discovered. You go and there's people from China, Japan, they love country music. George Strait sells more in, Japan than he almost does here. There's folks from Eastern Europe, people from Africa, and they're wearing cowboy hats and boots. And people don't go, what the hell are you doing wearing our Texas garb? You want to put down Texas? No, it's enjoying a culture. It's like you go to Japan and you sit there, at the dinner and drink sake. You're not.
How dare you wear a cowboy hat? That's offensive.
I hate rabbits. I'm the roughest tootin' hombre west of the Pecos, and I'm gonna kill you. Yum you.
I went to the University of Missouri Columbia for the first 2 years.
I hate rabbits.
Alex, they made you go to stupid little things. You had to learn about this training, this sensitivity, that. We hated it. I didn't want to go to that crap.
It's meant, but it's trolling for the people.
Now they want
it's trolling for the politically correct people so that it wrecks every business, every office, and then those people get ostracized because they're so mentally ill that literally they think any jokes, any comments, anything is sexist, anything is racist. You must be trying to screw them over because you don't like them. And then it actually handicaps people, whether they're white, black, Hispanic, Asian, that buy into this. Notice, though, you never see almost ever Asians at these politically correct events. They're busy getting the straight A's to go be the #1 richest group in America.
Learning 5 different languages.
Yeah, though, because they're busy. They want success. They come from countries that are super populated where people starve to death on the street. So they're here because mama paid $10,000 and worked like a slave to get them here. And they're here to get straight A's, 4.0s, to end up making $2 million a year. Asians in every category, the first 5, 6 levels of the wealthiest people in America are different Asian groups.
Yeah, I think.
Why is that? Oh, there was no glass ceiling for them.
Yeah, Gavin McGinnis.
Because they are about business. Sorry, go ahead.
Gavin McGinnis actually broke that down, how if you want to talk about the privileged class, it's actually Asians. But the privilege is you just work hard and you have a good life. But Alex, think about this. So these are the students, okay? These kids are students right now. This is unheard of even from my generation. I'm 27. Even people of my age, this is absurd. We wouldn't ever ask to be put into some sort of diversity training. This is madness. Okay. But in 20, 30 years, Alex, okay, you're going to be having that Hawaiian-themed party. I'm going to be at your party, hopefully. I'm going to be enjoying a mai, and I'm going to have my lei on and everything.
Mai Tai.
We're going to be having Mai Tai. We're going to be having a good time. There'll be a tiki torch going. But that neighbor that went to Baylor, oh, see, he's going to have to call the government. You're going to need diversity training, Alex. You're going to need some.
We had the little plastic flowers around our necks.
How dare you?
It was a pool party.
I'm calling the police because I went to Baylor in the year 2017 and I had diversity training, you see? And I know it when I see a party that's racist. And you, sir, are having an Hawaiian-themed party that is racist.
By the way, costume parties are fun.
You have
toga parties are not to put down the Greeks. It's because you get the girls in the shorter little outfits. I mean, that's what those are really about. The Mexican-themed parties, I've been to a bunch of those. They have nothing to do, but it's meant to make everybody that's at them feel weird. Hey, we're having a Mexican-style party, and it means fajitas, it means tequila, it means having fun. And I guess you could say culturally the Mexicans have fun. I like to go down to Cancun and have fun. Is that bad that the Mexicans know how to have a party?
Well,
I've had piñatas at many of my kids' birthday parties. I had piñatas when I was a kid. Not because I hated Mexicans. It's fun to have kids over and beat, a effigy of something and have candy and toys fall out.
So there was a thing just down the street from me yesterday. I went to get groceries. There was a little party going on. They were banging a little piñata. Kids were all having a good time. I didn't drive by and think, oh my gosh, how offensive to Mexicans.
We've got to because we have office style. I mean, I know I've gotten Hawaiian food catered in here too. It's so good. Twice now.
Polynesian food that you guys get catered to.
Well, let's just have Mexican food catered in here with one of the food trucks, and we'll all have a party on Facebook Live, some dinner up here, and everybody will get rides home. We'll get ride share or whatever. But whoever wants to drink, we'll buy the tequila, and we'll show people how you have a Mexican party.
So, but here's what I'm worried about, Alex. I'm actually worried about this growing roots and affecting us down the road, where you literally, okay, this is in the universities now, but I'm afraid it's going to infiltrate our daily lives. This false narrative that you're racist.
Take that strange foods guy. I forget his name. I like his show. I don't watch a lot of TV, but I watch that. He goes all over the world, all over the place.
Anthony Bourdain.
That's another guy. Cultural food. And he goes and looks at different cultures, and it's all about the culture. And you're not expropriating it when you get the recipe.
And people enjoy that. That's multiculturalism. That's learning about people's culture. People
We cook Mexican food at least 2 nights a week. It has nothing. This is so mentally ill that I have to say we're not racist because I like to make tacos.
I mean, should I be driving around Austin, Texas, seeing all these Mexican places, telling if it's not a Mexican owner, if there's a white worker there, that they need to go to diversity?
Listen, I told you I was at about 2 years ago with my son at Barton Springs, and there were 2 Hispanic guys and a white guy. They were obviously baked. They were smoking pot. You could tell they were stoned. And they're hopping around the water right in front of me, about 10 feet away. I'm sitting there on the grass, and they're like, dude, man, I'm hungry. I want some Chinese food. And he goes, oh, dude, you're not supposed to say Chinese. You're supposed to say Asian. And they were like real scared.
Even though
everybody's
there's
hopping
a
around.
difference.
I mean, Barton's was totally full of people. It's the middle of the summer. So there was probably 1,000 people there. And I'm sitting there going, do I say something to these guys? It's the same thing. Oh, it's the, Oriental New Year or the Chinese New Year. Oh, no, don't say the Asian New Year. Now you can't even say the Chinese New Year as if saying Chinese is racist. So they're making words evil.
So that's the story. It's an attack on reality, Alex. And here's why I'm worried about it. Okay, so this is what I'm seeing on social media from accounts that aren't necessarily tied into one person. They're just kind of general accounts. Like,
look, they had some of the reporters that were down covering my custody battle at Daily Beast and BuzzFeed were actually having discussions. Is milk racist? Do people like it because it's white? And they weren't joking. They were serious. But they knew it was bull, but it was about making their liberal readers get more brainwashed. It's about preying on their cult. These are like gang members that prey on their mind control victims. And the writers know it's bull, but they want to see how screwed up they can get you. Just like the Facebook documents show, they want to make you insecure, make you pathetic, make you feel small, and then feed on you. I want to make you feel strong because you are.
But this false narrative infiltrates into our realities and gets spun. Like this, Alex. This is what I'm noticing people want to say. They want to spin it, and they say that we hate immigrants. Anytime they make some sort of political point, they make it and spin it so that it appears that the opponents hate immigrants. That was never the story.
There's the Washington Times. Milk, the new symbol of racism in Donald Trump's America.
But that's what I'm saying. The Trump movement was never anti-immigrant. The Trump movement wanted the immigration law followed.
It was about sovereignty, and we're not under globalism where you can't go, I'm Chinese or I'm Mexican or I'm German, and I'm going to come here and you're going to pay for my baby day one, and if you don't, you're a racist. It's like I can't come to your country and do that.
If anything, the Trump movement was
Who bought them TVs? Tell me that.
We want immigration. We want legal immigration. We want people to go through the process so we can keep this country strong and not have it be infiltrated by people that hate this country, because those people exist. But that's not it. Here's the other one. You're well aware of this, Alex. You deny climate change.
No, I don't.
Exactly. But that's what they say. See, that's how they spin it.
It's your man-made global warming and the carbon taxes you want when China and India and others have no carbon controls. It'll make carbon actually go up, which you claim is so bad.
And this is how they cut
And they go, no. They go, science. I'm saving the earth. And I go, no, you're scripting yourself and casting yourself as the savior. You're in a cult. And they go, science.
So this is how they frame.
Bill Nye says, slit your wrist for mommy.
Bill Nye.
Mommy Earth. Bill Nye, the creepazoid. I'm ranting. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I'm sorry. It's just Bill Nye is unbelievable. But this is how they infiltrate false narratives into people's realities. And they just kind of give it just a little twist. And when you don't do the research, you buy it to say, oh, Alex Jones, he doesn't believe in climate change.
But everybody knows the climate changes. No, it was first ice age. Then it was global warming. Then it was blah, blah, blah. We're saying you're full of bull. The only constant is change. And they take our line and go, you don't believe in change. We go, we always believe in change. Shut up, racist. You need to be arrested. You're racist against the earth. Al Gore will save us. Bill Nye will save us. There's no need to fear. Bill Nye and Al Gore are here.
Bill Nye and Al Gore.
Mighty Mouse, Mighty Mouse, Mighty Mouse.
I said that actually they should go back and start playing An Inconvenient Truth in the schools again, just to show how wrong.
Because he said by 2013, Florida will be flooded, and so will California. Oh, they also show in the new ad for The Inconvenient Load of BS Part 2.
Yeah, we had to change our lives this time.
He goes, I predicted in my film that areas of lower Manhattan would flood. Every decade, on average, a hurricane hits it, and that area floods. They hadn't put the drains in yet on the construction site.
Hurricanes are actually
of course
down.
It flooded. It's always said, he says, and hurricanes are up. Hurricanes are at a global low for 67 years, Weather Channel. It's a fact. There's always been big blows. There's always been typhoons. There's always been hurricanes.
Are you anti-climate change right now?
I am anti-BS is what I am. Look, I got to go to these
what do we
calls.
do, though?
Stay there. I want you to ride shotgun.
Maybe they can tell us. I don't know what we do. How do we beat these lies that infiltrate people's realities? They don't, it's a lie.
I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house down. That's what, imagine this. George Soros' law firm is suing me for a member of the Federal Reserve Board who's suing me saying refugees never bring in disease and refugees never rape.
I see stories every day.
The point
tuberculosis is up, what, like 10 times in Minnesota?
But it shows they're not that powerful that they're having to do this to us, and we're only getting bigger. And then all these timid people go, are you going down? Are you collapsing? No, our audience that's hardcore is only making us stronger in the face of this. And no matter what happens, it's the animating contest of liberty. Now I'm going to go to break. And if the you-know-what's the admiral of the water don't rise over Bear Creek, we're going to go to Ken, Beth, Levi, and then we're going to go to Eric, and we're going to go to Michelle and many others. But before I go any further, briefly, our amazing, made in America, organic, high-quality, fluoride-free with peppermint, tea tree oil, iodine, and nanosilver. Nobody's got that. It's been sold out for over a month. Super Blue, the original adult formula, is back in stock for $9.95. This is concentrated toothpaste, a big tube. Your purchase supports the broadcast. Sign up for auto ship. Get an additional 10% off. 4.8 stars, 809 reviews from Power Reviews, big third-party site. And we've got it as low as $5 when you get multiple tubes of it for yourself, your family, and others. It's amazing. Sign up for auto ship every 14 days, every 30, every 42, every 60, every 90. And that way you get it in the mail. You don't forget. And you kind of tithe to the truth, battling the globalists. Please, we're not perfect. Nobody is. But we are in the globalist face. And if they can shut us down or slow us down in the quicksand, they're winning. But right now, Jack be nimble, Jack be quick, Jack jump over the New World Order's little tricks. We are begging you all to support us now more than ever. They were supposed to take the special down. They're great, no big deal. But their mistake, your gain. Bone broth, super paleo formula is going to sell out for weeks. It's about to sell out. There's only 1,000 kegs of it left. And so by tonight, it's going to be down from the 53% off at InfoWarsStore.com or 888-253-3139. You can also wait and get it for full price tomorrow if you want to support us. Auto ship, additional 10% off. It becomes a lost leader. Take action. Get out of the trance. Fund the InfoWar. A total win-win. 888-253-3139. You notice I'm under attack, and I've broken through next level. I've got so much energy, I can hardly stand it. We'll be back with Owen Shroyer, your phone calls and more. Wake up, America! Owen's riding shotgun. I'm going right to Ken, Beth, Levi, and others right now. And I'm kind of invited him in there to cover these stories and ran over him, but he'll have more time to talk next hour. But I'm pretty wound up. Owen, you were just running down Austin, which I actually agree with. My mom grew up here. I spent a lot of time here in the summers when it was like 100,000 people. Now it's 2 million. It's a beautiful city, a nice city in some ways, but in the central areas, it's horrible. And you just encapsulated it during the last minute before we went live. Do that again.
It took me a while to understand this, but I had some friends that came in town this weekend, and we met out at a bar, and they were sitting there, and they were like, man, Owen, we sat down here for 2 minutes, and it wasn't, long before both bartenders were looking at us funny. Everybody at the side of the bar was looking at us funny because they're conservatives. They don't mind speaking their mind. They're people that like talking their mind. So here in Austin, beyond just the liberal people that you can't have a conversation with because you're going to end up offending them, nobody is from here, okay? Nobody in Austin is from Austin, so there's no real culture. And everybody that moves here is some form of a socialite.
They're posers.
So they don't actually have anything to do. They don't make their own meals. They don't cook meals. They don't have a garden. They don't have a family.
Most of them are here on debt trying to be trendy. They all fled failed Hollywood.
So they run around all day doing the little trendy activity, whatever the latest trendy thing is to do, go to the little coffee shop and all this stuff, and they run around, drive around, they cause all the traffic, and they have no culture, and they...
They walk up to me and laugh at me like
it's true, though. But
I had two gay guys yesterday walk up to me in Target. I was buying my daughter some Baby Alive toys. She likes them. And these two gay guys that look like... who are the guys from the Fred Flintstone? Fred Flintstone.
And Barney Rubble?
Barney Rubble. And I'm not bashing because they were gay, but they looked like, my son goes, they looked like Barney Rubble and Fred Flintstone. After they pointed at us and started laughing, and I walked right by them, they kept laughing, and I went, yeah, I'm Alex Jones. I don't dislike you, and they just couldn't even talk. But that's the thing. Liberals will point and laugh like it hurts me, like it does something. They're like carpetbaggers from some failed place.
That's what the media
running
does.
here, and then they laugh at me.
Because that's what the media does. The media points and laughs at you, so then they see that, and they think that that's how they empower themselves. But like I said, they don't have... Alex, look, I'm from St. Louis. It's not the most conservative area. Some areas of St. Louis are very liberal.
I just didn't know Fred Flintstone was gay.
I thought you were Fred Flintstone. And St. Louis continues to... They elect a lot of Democrats, but let me tell you, here's the biggest difference. If I go out in St. Louis and me and you were sitting down having a conversation, we could be in the most liberal area of town surrounded by Democrats, but nobody would care. Nobody would be offended by what we're saying. Nobody would stare at us and jeer and say, what's wrong with those people? That's what they do.
Listen,
here,
they walk up since the Trump thing and literally get in my face like I'm not human.
I can't deal with it, man. I can't go out and I can't have a conversation.
Owen, listen, you know why it is. You're a good-looking guy, bro. And most of these people, I don't care if they're black, white, Hispanic, are ugly. They're ugly. They're stupid. They have no future. They've all got all these giant loans, 2-3 fake degrees. They're miserable. Wait till you get a good-looking wife and a bunch of good-looking kids. They will come over and get in your face, bro. They don't like success.
What if I went out and talked like this and told everybody that I thought Trump was bad?
Yes, they just walk around going, oh, my God.
You know, I look...
Oh, look, you have to judge people. Exactly. They're cult members. Their grandparents...
That's what it is. That's what it is. They are judgmental and they are entitled people. They'll walk right across the road. There'll be a car going down the road 40 miles an hour heading right to them. They'll have
their grandparents...
across the road because they're entitled.
Their grandparents were super right-wing Pharisees that would, like, get really mad at their parents, you know, saying if you play with yourself, you're going to go blind, or telling them going to the bathroom is dirty and bad, like Sigmund Freud thought. These are all really uptight, freaked out people saying they're liberal, saying they're cutting edge, saying they're trendy, and really they're neurotic basket cases looking at real liberals like us, and they don't know what to do, but it doesn't matter. Just watch. We'll change the world like we always do. You'll sit there and try to stop us, and you'll fail. I promise. In 70 seconds, Ken, Beth, and Levi!
Yeah.